to create its presentation. The other e-learning softwares are Presenter, which is made by Adobe, and that's again a PowerPoint plugin, but it works as like as part now of like a subscription service from Adobe, where you can subscribe and they give you set up like a server, so it's sort of like a conferencing and file sharing system for companies. So the company registers with software, everybody gets to use it, and it's a bit like WebEx, if you've ever used that, or that works, that you buy it as a subscription for your company. Everybody gets access to it, and you can share your data and have it all local on the server somewhere. So that Presenter is sort of like an offshoot of that service. I'm not sure, I have to check again, but I'm not sure if I think you can still buy it as sort of standalone software, the Presenter itself, but you're not really going to get any interest unless companies have subscribed to this service. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's changed its name 2 or 3 times in the last few years as well. I'll look into it anyway. So that's the other one. And then the third one is Captivate, which is again Adobe. Now Captivate actually is more focused on screen capturing. So where you want to demo using a website, for instance. So you sit there with your website ready to go, you turn on record, you demo with your mouse what you want to demo, and you can also record your voice as you're demoing it, and it will record what you've done, it will record your screen capturing. It works different to the screen capturing that actually just records the screen as a movie. This actually takes, it's sort of intelligent, it takes screenshots every time the screen changes and simulates the mouse by sort of pathing a graphic over the top of the mouse. So it's quite good actually, it's quite clever, because it creates demos that are very small inside. It's not like a movie that you have to download or anything, it's like again a flash file. But it's also got additional functionality like quizzes and things like that. So again, you may find clients producing content with that software.
So something like that in Captivate, would we then ask the client to provide us with the localised screenshots if they've already got a pre-localised website and they're wanting to recreate this training?
Well, a lot of the training I've received to localise has been, they've not used that functionality at all. We've just used Captivate as a e-learning creation tool, so they've imported PowerPoint slides and added pop-ups and things like that to the PowerPoint slides manually. They've not used any of the screen capturing themselves. But yeah, if you get it and they'd have used screenshots, then yeah, but you'd have to look at recreating it. It's probably a bit complex to consider sort of setting up and recording the stuff yourselves. You might have to get the client to record and work with them in getting either processing the files they create to add the translation and what have you. But yeah, it's a bit of a complex situation with that in terms of screen capturing. Anything involving screenshots is a bit of a problem, really. If the client wants used the translation company to localise the screenshots, then you're going to have to look at getting access to the localised websites, knowing what screen matches with what, getting to know the client's website when they already know it, and also you might run into issues with accessibility. They may not let you access their internal web pages, their intranet and stuff, so they might want you to go into their company to do it, or, you know, so it normally doesn't sort of work in terms of the cancellation company doing it for them. They normally have to do that sort of thing themselves. So whenever I quote, if ever any screenshots come up, I'll put an assumption saying, assuming this won't be localised unless the client provides a replacement screenshot to insert. I mean, the cost for working out, you know, getting to learn the client's website and check it, you know, you won't be able to, the client will have to check it as well, and it really sort of pan out really as a suitable service.
And then going back to storyline? Yeah, is that the latest one?
Yeah, it's only just come out
Yeah.
about 2 months ago.
So you said that doesn't extract to PowerPoint and Word anymore?
No, not as yet. On the forums they've said they're aware of that situation, they'll address it in future issues, but future updates, but
Yeah.
for now it doesn't.
So in that case, we need to rely on our file engineer to extract that on our behalf in order for us to run through trials, for example.
Well, it wouldn't be an engineer, it would be a manual extraction.
Yeah.
So it would be a typesetter around the software,
yeah.
or somebody who were willing to sit with the presentation and type everything out. Yeah. So articulate storyline projects are normally very expensive to localise for that reason.
Time consuming.
Yeah. I mean, you may get also, you know, you want to explore websites, localisation, more on the design website side, I guess you might, you know. Again, if a website owner has had their website designed well, or they've designed themselves and they design it well, really all they should be doing is passing the XML. They should have designed their website that all the text is in easy to manage code, separate from layout, separate from page templates, things like that, so that website localization should in theory be code engineering only. There might be some elements to tidy up, but again, if they've designed it properly as a website should be designed, it should cope with all the content it's thrown in. So it should be designed to expand and less, you know, let content fill as much space as it needs to. Things like navigation of websites, buttons, stuff like that, they're normally done as graphics. So there is some sort of need for manual and traditional typesetting of graphics. So that's some scope for that involved, as well as doing the code translation from the body content. But if you've got Flash designed web pages, artistic pages, animations, stuff like that, then yeah, I mean, there's no reason that those can't be localised as well. But like I was saying about Flash, it's sort of manual work.
With regards to websites, what generally happens is we get given a URL and they say, can you please give us the cost to translate it? And then we ask for the construction files and they can never seem to provide them to us. What's the best thing to do in that scenario to get an accurate word count and a cost?
Well, the only way really is to do a detective job. So go through the website, count the pages, count the content on the pages. If it's editable, you can either highlight it and extract it, or what you can do actually is, well, depends how it's been designed, but if it's a page with the content in it directly, then you can go to the developer tools in the browser. There's where you can view the source code, and then you can get at the code that creates the page. But 9 times out of 10, they've designed it as a template. So the page that you look at in the source code view is just the template, and then all the text is imported from somewhere else. So you don't actually see what text texting the code. So it's very difficult. I mean, it's the same problem as quoting on a PDF. You need the construction to quote properly because you just don't have any clue how we've made it. Website again, it's another step on in what you can in design freedom and in design file is. The permutations and possibilities of how we designed it could be anything.
Is there any good software on the market that you know about that could crawl a site and give?
I don't know any myself, I've not really used any myself, but I know there are stuff that does that. But you're not going to guarantee it's going to do it right because it depends how they constructed it. You might have hidden files with the content somewhere else. You might have firewalls to protect crawl software. It's the internet is getting a lot more secure these days, so tools like that don't work as well as they used to.
Do they work well enough to provide an estimate?
Well, I mean,
or rely on that could be large amounts of assessments on it?
well, I'd certainly, if you were to use it, and it's a big website, I'd certainly at least try and do a sanity check by looking at what pages there are manually. It normally didn't take too long to sort of map out how many pages there are on the website. I mean, it can depend how big it is really, but I mean, you can go through go through all the links on the home page, find out what pages they're linked to, and then find the links on those pages, see what they're linked to, and get an idea really. Or if it's too big and too ridiculous a proposition to quote on it, just say, right, we've taken these pages, we've quoted on these, here's a sample of what we can do. Get back to us with exactly how many files, what the size is of the website.
A lot of times, all people don't want a full website translated, do they, as well? They only want potential certain parts of it given to you, so the homepage, information, contact details, that sort of thing. So some of it isn't actually, so if you are trawling it, you're going to bring it all in, you can't identify what the second bit.
I mean, a lot of the time, the situation is you get someone who doesn't deal with authoring, creation of content. You get some representative, some admin, localisation department person who is just told to quote on this website. So they just send you what they know of the website, which is the link. They know to use the website as a user, but they don't know anything about how it's created. So a lot of the time, I don't think it's a problem to go back to them with questions. They may get frustrated, but that's their problem. The only way you're going to get an accurate quote is to work out what's going on. And if they don't provide that information, there's only so much that you can do and estimate and assume as what can be done. So, it's still possible to give them